Welcome to Chasing Impact, Not Sales, where heart meets hustle, strategy meets service, and selling feels good again. I'm your host, Mandy Minatello. Let's go. Hey, welcome back to Chasing Impact, Not Sales. I am looking forward to continuing the conversation from a couple of weeks ago. And I've had people reach out and say, this has been really helpful. So I want to continue and take it one step further because what I'm hearing is that the sales conversation is stunted and the sales professional is halted because they're hearing some of the same phrases and it's kind of beginning to feel, or it always has felt, very uncomfortable. And so I wanted to kind of talk about that these phrases that we're going to talk about are not necessarily a sales problem. They're not I take that back. Sales is a process. They're not a closing problem, right? They're an attraction problem, which is the very, very top of the sales process, the beginning of the sales process, and not the culmination of the sales process, which is when that transaction, might take place for conversion. So if you keep hearing the same things in your sales conversations, as a sales professional, you get on a call and you keep hearing, I need to think about it, or this isn't the right time, or just send me more information and I'll get back to you. And I've done some episodes where we've talked about when you hear those things, what it should trigger in your mind and what you can be doing to move the conversation. But if you're hearing these things over and over again, it's really easy to assume that what you're dealing with is a closing problem. And from a management perspective, it's easy to assume that what you're dealing with is a closer problem, the person. But I want to challenge you to think that, what if that's not true? Because if you're hearing this over and over and over again, it's not just like a one-off thing, or a random like outlier, then what you're looking at is the real issue that is happening long before that sales call ever began. You see, what you have, if you're seeing this over and over and over again from lead to lead to lead, is not a conversion problem. What you have is an attraction problem, because the buyers that you attract determine those conversations that you have, and the conversations that you have determine your conversion results, which is your revenue generation. So we have to back the bus up, right? Back it up and think about what is actually happening. And what's actually happening is actually quite predictable, which makes it easy to fix, right? When the wrong buyers show up over and over and over again, this pattern is predictable. You're marking it. It's your outcome, your call outcome. They're interested but not committed. They're curious but it's not urgent. They like the idea but they're not ready to decide. These are the notes that your closers are making. And so then the conversation feels so much harder than it should if they were interested and committed, if they felt the urgency of wanting to solve their problem, if they liked the idea and they're the decision maker ready to make the decision. But what happens when they're saying these things, I'm just not ready, I need to talk, I need to think about it, I need to talk to someone, give me more information and I'll get back to you. You find yourself explaining more. You're justifying more. You're trying to just get them there over the hedge. You're trying to get them to stop sitting on the fence. What if the truth is not that they're sitting on a fence? What if the truth isn't that you need to get them there? I heard someone say, what if I just need to shake you with love? What if the truth isn't that? What if the truth is that they were never the right fit to begin with? We've all been there where someone is trying to sell us something that we just don't think we need. And that thought doesn't start with the sales call. Where does it start? It starts with how you position what it is you do. And here's where, when I'm working with newer business owners or newer to a new offer, and they're not totally sure who their ICP is, so they want to market to everyone. And here's the thing. If your messaging speaks to everyone, it lands with no one. Okay. If you're trying to be all things for all people on all platforms, in all places, at all stages, no, your message isn't landing with anyone. There's not a single person out there that's like, wow, they're speaking to me. If your content that you're putting out there focuses on surface level problems and you're not going deep on anything, now you're not attracting everyone, but you're attracting just surface level buyers, no one that wants to really go deep on anything. And if your content leads with tactics instead of the transformation, if you're telling people the do that they have to do instead of the get that they're going to get, what you're attracting now are people looking for a quick fix, easy button. And all three of these people, all three of these groups, excuse me, the surface level problems, the quick fix wanters, those are the people who hesitate. Those are the people who stall. And those are the people who are going to ghost you because they're not totally sure that you're speaking to them about a problem that they have, giving them the hope of a transformation to an ideal state that they want. Those are the people that are going to be your heck yeses, not your ghosters, right? Here's the truth bomb of this whole thing. If you hear nothing else, hear this. Aligned buyers, buyers who feel like you are speaking to them, about them, and for them, do not need to be convinced. They do not need to get there. They do not need to be talked off the fence. Why? Because they recognize themselves in the problem. They see that you're speaking to them. They see that you can help them specifically. They also understand the cost of staying where they are. That cost may be a financial investment. That cost may be time that they feel they're wasting. That cost may be effort and energy that could be spent somewhere else. And guess what? They're already moving towards a decision before they ever talk to you. They're in the market looking to solve this problem. And then you emerge as the uniquely positioned answer for them. When you're in that uniquely positioned place, your job is not to persuade them, and it doesn't feel like it. It just feels good. Your job is just to make sure that the right people are entering the conversation where you can present your solution. And that's easy. So when your content is clear, when your target is clear, when your audience is clear that you're speaking to them because everything that you're saying is resonating, then you've got an easy sales process from beginning to end, not just the conversion at the end, but the whole process. So what does this mean? This means that you need to get clear on the attraction, the beginning piece of the sales process. And from there, everything is lockstep systems to get to the conversion, which is the end of the sales process. And the period of time in between varies. But it all seems seamless when you are super clear on who is actually ready. You are super clear on the problem that they feel deeply that you can present the solution. And when you're super clear and you can articulate that you understand that everything they've already tried not only hasn't worked, but you know why it hasn't worked because you're different. Because you've been there, you've solved that, you've done that, you've worked with that. You are their answer. And when those pieces are in place, everything downstream gets easier. So here's the challenge. Take a look at your current pipeline. Hopefully you have a nice, big, healthy, juicy pipeline. Take a look at it. Are the people that you're speaking with truly ready to make a change? Or do you have the notes like I spoke about earlier? Do you have the notes like they see the problem, but they're not ready to make a solution? They're interested, but they want more information. They're going to go talk to somebody or they're going to go think about this. If those are the notes, then go upstream and look at your attraction process. Look at what draws them in. But if you're looking at them and you see that you are speaking with people who are truly ready to make a change, that's when sales is fun. It's full of service. It makes your heart swell. But if they're still early in their awareness, they need to know more. They need to get to know you. Then you need to show up. You need to show up for your people with stronger, more determination, more articulation, hit them in the feels. You need to narrow it down so that you're attracting the right people and solving problems every day. Because sales doesn't start when that conversion call begins. It starts when you determine who you can help and you attract those people. And only those people. Don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your sales team's time. Attract the right people, only those people, those perfect people, and watch your conversion rate skyrocket. And you're like, we didn't do anything different at the conversion place. We did everything different at the attraction place. That's where it starts. So before you look at something that you're convinced is a closing problem or a closer problem, and you're trying to fix your close rate and you're trying to see that conversion rate and the close rate and everything go up, step back. I mean, literally step back and ask a better question. Do we have a closing problem, or are the right people even in the room? If we're talking to a room full of the wrong people, then it's going to feel like a difficult, persuasive coercion. But when you have the right people in the room, sales stops feeling like persuasion and just starts to feel like the alignment, which is the reason that you got here in the first place, the reason that we start businesses. The reason that we present ourselves as the answer is because we know that feeling of alignment. We know that feeling when someone is like, where have you been all of my life? You are speaking to me and I needed you. That's where it feels good. That's where we want to keep it feeling good. And we want to make sure that we really, really are the solution that people are looking for, because they're already looking. They're already looking. Be there. Let's go. Thanks for listening to Chasing Impact, Not Sales. If this episode sparked something, share it, subscribe, and remember, real sales come from real service. Keep chasing impact.